Hi, Elle Ingalls here at pressure-free.com. Do you ever have times when you're just so stuck and frustrated with something? So you're maybe working on a project and hit a snag or tech isn't working for you. I really have to watch out for tech stress. I've mentioned it before on my show, but if I push a button and something doesn't work right, it kind of throws me into a tizzy. So yesterday I was working, I was actually behind. So I was behind on a project. I have something that I call my pressure-free planner. It goes out every single day to those who have purchased it and to my current clients. And hi, Angela, nice to see you here. So I was behind. Usually I have that all done by Sunday, and I was not done. It has to be done. The first day has to be done by Tuesday because that's the day, actually Monday night, because Tuesday is when someone's going to get it, the very first people who ever purchased it. So I literally was working to the last minute. I got a day out just fine. But the next day, when I tried to do it, I work in something called PDF Filler. So that's a program that allows me, well, I'm actually going to show you. So let's see, PDF Filler is basically allows me to create something where I can show you that you can actually click on here and write in here. So basically a PDF that's fillable so that people can do the planner right on the computer if they want, or you can print out the pages. So anyway, I went in, like I'm looking at my quote, I'm writing my little message, and I go to save it, and 2 pages save within one, like it's all blurry and there's double words, and it's like day 8 on top of day 184, which was the day I was working on. I'm like, what the heck's going on? So I instantly start to trigger the stress response, because if tech doesn't work for me, that is a definite trigger. So I'm like, relax my abs, smile a little bit. Those are my 2 tools I used right away. You know, I'm just kind of sitting there like, okay, maybe this is just a fluke. I go back in, I create the whole page all over again, and it does it again. So then I go, okay, how am I going to solve this? This is an empowering question you can ask yourself when you get stuck or you're frustrated. It's like, okay, how can I solve this? So the first answer I got is I go to call tech. I've got to get to tech. Well, there's no phone number, of course, right? So I start an order, I go and I start an order to talk to someone on tech. And 2 hours later, I get the first response. Has that ever happened to you? Like you need the response now to do your project, and you don't get it for a couple hours. We have to be more patient, right? So when it comes to this kind of stuff, I really have to work on being patient. So anyway, by this morning, it was still not resolved. No answers from my 2 tickets that I had in, showing exactly what happened. No answers. So I asked again. I asked the empowering question: how can I make this work? How can I even make it better? So I enhanced the question a little bit. So I need to solve this problem, but maybe I could even come up with an even better answer. That's what happened. So I went into a different software program, created a completely different template, brought that over, completed another, and this took me hours this morning, like hours, another whole different template. And I came up with this template that has a lot of really cool things for people, especially my clients who have gone through my course, and like they're going to know what I'm asking for here. But the planner is better. So sometimes when you get stuck, it's because there's an opportunity for you to make something better. When you run up against some resistance, take a pause and ask yourself, how can I make this better? How can I perhaps enhance it even more than what I was doing before? It's an opportunity. And again, because I get really triggered by tech not working, it took me a whole day to come up with a new answer. So for all my people who are on my planner, you got a really weird message this morning. It was me late at night saying, I'm having problems. And so once I get it fixed, you will have some nice new days in here. And I got it fixed, but it took a whole other day and a lot of hours of work. But I'm looking at what I've created and I'm really happy with it. So sometimes when we get stuck, when we are up against something that just seems so incredibly difficult, it could be an opportunity for you to up level. It could be an opportunity for you to come up with even better solutions. So one of the tricks to asking the empowering question and pressure-free, you do it in that 10-second interval. Remember, when you first feel a stressor coming on, you're starting to get hot about something or annoyed about something or upset about something. Pause in that moment. You've got 10 seconds and then ask an empowering question. How can I solve this? How can I fix this? How can I get to solution quicker? And then the trick is to just relax, like physically relax your body and let the answers come organically. When the answers come organically for you, they're probably going to be much more in tune with what you want that outcome to be. When we try to force things, there's always like an equal opposing force coming right back at us. I'm sure you've noticed that when you've had arguments with people, whenever you try to push something, sometimes there's just like so much force coming back at you, you get sick or something else happens. So see if you can be gentle about coming up with your ideas. They're truly real and organic within you. You're brilliant. What's between your two ears is brilliant. And when you ask it a great question, it's going to come up with some great answers for you. So I solved a problem for my pressure-free planner, and I'm going to put I mentioned it yesterday, I think. I forgot to put the link in. So you can start my pressure-free planner on any day of the year. So we just passed the halfway mark for 2020. 2020 has probably been one of the strangest years ever in our lifetimes. Unless you were born in 100 years ago. Perhaps you saw something more crazy than we have. But certainly we've got this opportunity for the second half of the year. So if you want to start your second half of the year with something very inspiring every day, with something that gives you a little bit of food for thought, doesn't take long to do, but I promise you that if you start to do some of this work, it can truly change your life. And you don't necessarily have had to go through my course in order to benefit from this planner. It's an added benefit if you have, because you know how these pieces all work together. But just, it's time to really start to move into the next half of the year and make it certainly better than what we've experienced the last 6 months. So wishing a great pressure-free day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.